Hi, my loves. Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Nikki. I'm Initiated High Priestess, Witch, Psychic Medium, and a Spiritista. And before we dive in, hit like, share, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so that you never miss an episode. Today, we're talking about love spells, relationship magic, and the spiritual mechanics behind why ritual work sometimes helps and why sometimes it absolutely cannot and will not save a connection. And this applies to all relationships: romantic, platonic, family, friendships, coworkers, and even household harmony. Okay, so let's start with the truth. Ritual work does help relationships, but it's a supplement, it's a tool, it's not a cure. It's a band-aid, sometimes a necessary one that buys time, but it's still a band-aid. And it buys this time while spirit pushes people, both people in the relationship, towards inner work and healing and evolution. And this can look like, I've seen it manifest a million different ways, y'all. One person or both people suddenly getting interested in meditation. Therapy ads showing up everywhere, on the radio, on Facebook, on YouTube. Journaling becomes appealing. Random spiritual awakenings and synchronicities that force self reflection. And spirit is basically saying, okay, you want this connection to heal? Great. Then both of you need to evolve. And whether you consciously set that intention or not, that's how the energy moves. And here's where things get real. If you are the one doing the inner work, you're cleansing, you're healing, you're growing, you're connecting with God and spirit, you're raising your frequency, just trying to be a better person in general, and the other person refuses to do so, the gap between you gets bigger and bigger. And spirit in this universe is very forgiving. They give chances, but there's a limit, okay? And when one person grows and the other stays the same or gets worse because they get too fucking comfortable in their relationship, the connection eventually becomes energetically incompatible. This is when fights increase, the chaos intensifies, y'all start arguing more and more, and the relationship feels heavy, and your spirit team starts screaming at you and pulling you away from it. It's not punishment or them giving up on you, it's protection. And sometimes spirit will even remove protection a little bit from the other person to force their growth. Here's a great example of this. If someone in their relationship is struggling with addiction, spirit may allow certain events to unfold that weren't happening before to push that person towards rehab or intervention, not to harm them, but to actually save them. But if they still refuse the help, if they refuse that wake up call and refuse to change and reject the medicine, if they stay in those toxic patterns, then spirit starts guiding you out of the connection because you cannot carry the relationship entirely on your back. It takes two to tango, okay? And some relationships end because the soul contract is complete. You learned the lesson, you grew, you evolved, you were not the same person that you were when that relationship came into your life, whether it's been a lifelong relationship like a family member or a newer one. And it's time to go. But free will keeps you hanging on. And I've done it too. Many times I will admit that I am not perfect. I love very hard, and I stayed past the expiration date because I loved hard, because I cared, because I'm a Cancer and I was loyal to a fault. But every time I stayed too long, I knew I was staying too long because the universe got louder. More chaos, more conflict, more signs, more exhaustion, more frustration, more warfare within myself. Because my feelings and my actions were not in alignment. Because I was betraying myself by staying in this connection. And until my heart, mind, body, and spirit finally align and said enough, I would stay. And spirit, when this download was coming, said something very clear to me. The trauma that people carry, the relationship wounds that they've endured, is not the problem. The refusal to heal it is. Okay, we all have wounds, we all have pain, we all have childhood stuff. That's not our fault. But healing it is our responsibility. And if someone is spiritually sick but refuses treatment, they will bleed on everyone around them, including you. And you will do this to others if you refuse to change. And you cannot save someone who refuses to save themselves. And I can tell you 1000%, being connected to the wrong person can derail your destiny. And when I talk about this concept, I don't like saying I lost years of my life, but I did lose opportunities. I lost money, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I lost alignment. I lost time, which the time was going to pass anyway. And if anything, I'll chalk it up to lessons. But everything else, you can get back, right? It still hurts to think about, though. And I stayed too long, not because I was weak, but because the lesson was complete, but I didn't want to let go. And many of you listening are in that exact place right now, and I get it. And I go deeper into this, much deeper, inside my Destiny Swapping course, launching July 16th. And in the course, I teach about spiritual pruning, how Spirit explained it to me, how I used it to reclaim my path, how to identify when someone is draining your destiny, and how to cut energetic cords without chaos and to stay aligned with your soul's calling. And here's the crazy part. The person usually trying to swap destinies with you, it's someone very close. It's someone who knows you, and it's someone who benefits from your light. And this course helps you break those patterns and return to alignment. Okay? So for the course, early bird pricing is live. Afterpay is available at checkout, and all new students receive a complimentary spiritual reading from me. And you can learn more at sirensnectar.com/destiny. I will put the link in the description. So thank you for being here, my loves. If you have any questions or want to share your story, drop a comment below. I love y'all very much. I'll talk to you soon.